Welcome friend to this session of design patterns. In this session we will try to understand one of the rarely used pattern, but again depending on the kind of project this can be the most useful pattern, proxy pattern. So let's go to the fundamentals, through the fundamentals of it, and also understand the theory aspect of it, and we'll try to map this with a sample, with a real project, so in this same video we will try to go through a sample project and see that how exactly proxy pattern works. So first thing, they fall into the structural pattern categories. Proxy is nothing but it's a class, or you can say it's an interface, which points towards the actual class, which has data. So it's like a pointer which acts towards which actually is pointing towards the actual class. Now, why it's necessary is basically sometimes you have classes which have huge data. Like example, it can be image object, or it can be a some kind of a blob data, or it can be a object data which is probably in GBs. Now, and you want this object to move around a project, or it's possible not even around a project, even across networks. So at that moment, moving the whole object across networks can be very time consuming, and will lead to less efficiency. So what you basically do is that you take up an interface, okay, and this interface points towards that object, and you move that interface across the network, which is lightweight, okay, and whatever operations you call on that interface which will actually call on the actual object, so you can create multiple proxies and point towards a huge memory, and this also will avoid duplication. So sometimes you want that you want to duplicate an object or do something, right? Then you can always create multiple proxies and work around with it rather than duplicating the actual object. So the main intention of proxy pattern is that to have an interface, a lightweight interface which points towards the actual data, which is huge and bulky, okay, and do operations on that bulky interface. So here's an example. So what I've done is this is my actual image, a huge image, probably something which is loaded, okay, and here's my proxy, okay. Point to be noted is that the image, the actual class should inherit from the image proxy, image proxy, so that you can use interface to point towards this. Now what happens is basically when you in the client code, right, what you do is that you create the actual image object and you point the pointer towards the proxy. Now this proxy is basically can now refer to the actual object, and you can move this proxy wherever you want into the other networks, or probably move to other PCs, rather than moving the actual object, and then this will increase efficiency of your project. So again, use image proxy, proxies, where you are thinking that you have large image objects or large blob data which you want to pass across computer networks, and rather than passing the real objects and making the network more bulky or more loaded, you can pass the proxy object, the image proxy object. I hope that we were able to clear the fundamentals of proxy pattern. In case you have any doubts, and you can always mail me at shiv_koiral@yahoo.com. You can also visit our website www.correspond.com. There are a lot of good design patterns videos which we have loaded there. Almost all design patterns videos we have loaded there. So you can visit the website. You can download interview question books, which will probably help you to enhance your career. Also we have a free test and free exams in the same site, so feel free to go through the exams and try to experiment the exams. I'm sure that it will definitely help you to increase your technical knowledge.